Yo, yo, yo. Whatever. Whatever you do, if you don't sleep, if you are always dreaming. After I was listening to Torn last night, Torn's Gardens, and having a couple comments, um, I jumbled up a bunch of different ideas that are things that I speak about in just about every one of my videos, maybe not all of them combined. And so I'll see if I can touch on all of them here because they weave together. And there's a couple. I don't know. It's philosophical, but it's also objective, and there's this the objective subjective things that we always talk about. And I'm gonna try to touch on these and see if we can put them in an. We don't want to put them in order. There's no eggs in a basket. Well, I guess eggs in a basket make a little more sense. There's a picture I could draw about how I think these realms and levels and things and energies and space works. But the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind comes to comes to mind, and the only way it can do that is if we have a memory system. If we have memories, or else we'd be incapable of even speaking. And not saying that we need to speak about anything, but then we'd get into that samadhi place. But we always, and this is the this is what the this is why it's 88. Marty McFly goes 88 to time travel. 88 means to eat. it's it's a coding, and it's also the shape of it. Mobius strips. It they do appear like Mobius strips, and maybe even time and space dimensions look like Mobius strips. But to get rid of, you know, Torn was talking about focus and not having focus, or he'd love to live his life without any focus. But that's the ability to focus is what gives us our capacity to have memory and to direct our experience to something. Or else there is no experience to be had if you have no memory of it. There, 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 there would be no way of relaying a story, as humans seem to be the only species that can evolve and storytell, as animals stay the same. Their animals are archetypes, animals are archons, animals are exactly what they are, and that's what they will be. The only way they get changed is if we change their environment, because animals aren't going to change their environments due to bioacoustic resonance. The bioacoustics of an area are what causes animals to be there. They're playing a harmonic system within a certain area. So if we were to say remove a bird from a giant ecosystem, all of the rest of the animals would adjust their pitch slightly to make up for the missing bird in that system. Now, how did that bird go missing? Well, that it would usually be due to human intervention, meaning we start logging the area and cutting trees down, so we've killed the bird's habitat. So we're getting back online here into what the memory system is. It's not linear. So the problem with people's, when we say focus, maybe it's people think of linear process focusing, meaning from here to over there. But you can focus in a in the way the environment actually looks, which is somewhat three dimensional. There's more space to it. There's depth of vision, and we're choosing and picking out things to look at and focus. And when I say pick out and choose something to look at with our eyes, we also do that with our ears. We can do that with our taste. We could really do that with our smell. It's most difficult to do with your smell because your brain just your nose picks up everything, kind of like a dog. This is why a dog is so interesting, as it's such a dog, because its capacity to smell something is very, very high. Because the nose knows gnosis, and the only way we get that gnosis is because we're giving electrical charge to the brain, which has water and light hopefully in it, but mostly water. And so there's a memory system. Again, it's held within our entire body, but there's a sparking of knowledge within the brain. So to say that we shouldn't have focus, or focus is undesirable, is a weird thing. I mean, I think there needs to be an equal measure of both, to give yourself room to room to breathe, room to just fantasize and imagine. But don't we imagine, so therefore we can bring things, we'd say, from other realms or dimensions. Say any words you like there, just from your mind, from the infinite space. So we use our focus to bring that into harmonic resonance, and on this plane, wherever we are in front of us. What does this have to do with? So that's memory. So that memory is what gives you the capacity to time travel, to because you're traversing through time because you have a memory. So therefore, that memory is the focus of a time before, or a time in the future. Yeah, we can't really always discern whether or not it was an imagination of a future we had, or a memory of a past, meaning a dream. This is the other movie with Hugh Jackman, Memories of a Future Past. But it still relies on what we term memory. So I suggest, for anyone who hasn't seen it, go watch Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. It really tries to grasp onto this concept. It doesn't really try to grasp it. It tries to display it, to show what a memory system is, and how vital it is. It's all play, for sure, but even within that, the child that's growing, the human species that is seems to be evolving and getting towards something. The only way that you can build a system that is more, I don't want to say advanced, more complex, more intricate, more refined, is to have memory of the last system. There's no way you got an iPhone 10 unless you had an iPhone 9, unless you had an iPhone 7, unless you had an iPhone 2, unless you had a Nokia, unless you had, these systems that compound on each other and become more and more intricately designed. We start with basic shape, and that shape, we use a memory of a shape to create a new shape, and that shape becomes, well, we could get torn saying everything's just lines. Yeah, dots and lines, or we could square and we could circle. I mean, yeah, everything's a line, but then are we line dancing? Or are we spatially dancing? Which doesn't involve any lines. So we should just throw everything away, and but we'd have to get rid of our language, and then say language is just random, is not actually correct. The languages were built. They were built on it seems to be the way that shape evolves through the structure of the universe, as I believe it was Savan and Dan Winter talking about, the alphabets were built out of sound going through water or fire, and the shapes that would be seen, because there would be the sound that was produced, gave a shape within there, just like it's a cymatical thing. So cymatics create the letters that we're using and the sound that is coming out of our voice is a representation of those cymatical shapes. So if you could see the echoes coming out of my mouth, there would be shapes to it. It'd be hard to see unless you were standing directly in front of me and you see the shapes coming at you. But if you stood on the side, you'd see it in a much different fashion because it'd be traversing in 3D. So if you could see it from both dimensions, in front of and to the side of, you'd be seeing something wildly different. So what other words did I put here? Time travel, infinite. Let's see. Let me take a look and see what I titled this thing. What did I title it? Is there a way of even looking? Is there a way of even looking at that? I don't even. I don't even know. Let's see if anybody had anything to say. What up, Simple Sanchez? What's up, Damien? What's up, Jonathan? What up, Kia? Yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Torn. It was funny because yesterday when I did that first video on the Toro, the Tarot, the Tara, whatever. I said a bunch of things. I guess he didn't watch the whole video, but he was echoing a lot of things that I was saying, just in a different way. And I'm trying to revisit them. What was it? Anybody can write the title of this show right there for me? It was. I forget what I titled it here. See if I can see it this way. No. So I'm not so great with technology. I don't have too many memories of how technology works. There's just too many buttons to push. Here, I'll get into that in a second, and then I'll get back to if anybody types that in for me. See, technology is supposed to ease the burdens of humanity, and what it's done in the beginning is it's complicated matters. We want the computer, the easy button, the commercial for the easy button. Yeah, the idea of technology is not to give us a fucking toaster that also, you know, is your alarm clock, is also your car. That you don't want that. Like that's silly. I mean, we've gotten a lot of silly inventions and silly technologies and just things that are like everybody wanted to do something like, well, you can do anything you want, and so we started just creating things that were not really suitable for the environment. And so that was the dilemma with technology. And that's what a lot of people have seen, and this is why people don't like technology. And it's become cumbersome and burden. It's like a burden. Like give an old person a phone and like an iPhone or these advanced phones, and they're just like, "What the f? How do I?" There's all of these there's too many buttons. There's too much to do here. They don't have enough. They don't have enough. I mean, part of it's due to senile dementia and being old and their brain being fried and they're not really having memory systems, nor having the capacity to, or the desire to continue on this adventure to learn more, to be more, because they find themselves aging because they don't know how to anti-age or go backwards in time. They don't know how to time travel. Part of it is that, but a lot of it is basically the just there's too much stuff. There's too many technologies. And what technology's purpose is to take away the mundane things that humans do. The mundane that nobody wants to do. Now, in in certain places, the mundane tasks are what people want to do. Like you would say, I want to carpet my house. I say, okay, now stitch together and weave yourself a carpet. And you say, well, that's going to take forever. I have kids to take care of. I got meals to cook. I have a whole daily life. And then you don't have time for that. So, I mean, if you live in a village situation, maybe somebody would have the time to do that. But where we are using technology, we'd say, hey, we have computer systems and we have these machines and computers, these technologies and tools that we've advanced that we can make that for you any way you like. And you can continue to uh, enjoy and live your life teaching your children about things and cooking and doing dancing with the family and doing all of these things. And that's what technology is supposed to do. But it's there's so much paperwork and bureaucracy and you gotta here's the receipt that you get for you buy a pack of bubble gum from CVS, and the receipt is 5 feet long, and you're like, what's going on? What do I need all of this for? What is all this extra stuff? What are all these extra buttons for? How many? It's really nice to have a powerful system to be able to adjust preferences all over the place. That's really great and grand and groovy. But there's no there's not too many people that could fully operate everything on every. Well, there's no one that could operate everything in every system. It doesn't. That's that's ridiculous. But even within one, even the person that designs the phone would still have trouble going through and using the all of the every single part of the application in perfect order and harmony of no like, and if they could, they probably wouldn't be very good at anything else. They'd become so specifically oriented within one system that they would be completely incapable of overlaying that technology to somebody else. I don't know too many people that are really good at technology that are sitting there at the computer designing out systems that can actually cook, that have any idea how to speak to another human being, that have, so they've become so specifically oriented in the way that they manage tasks within their mind that they lose all humanness, which is really weird, which is like, but they, if they had any idea how to overlay their teachings of, say, hey, look, if you know how to operate, if you know how a computer works, then you certainly, I could show you how a car works in the exact same way, and I could even show you how to cook. I can show you how to cook in the same way I can show you how to take apart an engine and put it back together, and I even could show you how to build a house. Not that you want to do all those things, but there's this, I think where we are, Terrence McKenna was talking about time wave zero, and the Mayans were talking about, or Greg Braden would talk about zero point energy fields, and the Mayans would talk about 2012 and the singularity, and these types of concepts. Was really technology becoming the virtue that was supposed to be to open up the world for people, to make it easier for people, not to become enslaved to the systems, enslaved to the whole, oh man, rows and rows of crops to pick up and all of this work to do. Like, we're not supposed we're not out here supposed to be working. Like, we've gone so far into the depths of the systems that we find ourselves still working for I don't know what anymore. Like, we could stop everything and go back to being tribal almost right now, and the whole system would still operate. All you would need is a few people that just, you come on, learn the system, operate the system, and then everybody puts a couple hours in operating the system, and then you have weeks, months, years on end free to go and dance and enjoy the plenty that the system is operating. You know, the system can operate itself almost perfectly, almost perfectly. Meaning that the cars are automated already. If somebody needs a new car, it's almost automated. I mean, I'm talking like, the future design of the world, like Jacques Fresco, kind of that kind of thing. All of the futurists, what they always seen was, you got those people that use future design to say, oh, the robots are going to take over the world, and people fear it. But in the other direction, where we're supposed to be and where we should be, is like, okay, we get it. The school systems are not designed for what they need to be designed for. They were designed for a factory system, and no longer do we have factories of people working in it. And we don't, and we shouldn't have. If you want to be if you want to be an artisan, that's do it. I think everybody should be an artist in whatever fashion. And if what you really like is to go work on computers, look, well, shit, there we go. We don't need that many people doing it anymore. We already have 3D design printers that all you need to do is you already have a CAD system. Hey, you download this one thing into a computer, and it's going to build it for you. The system will build itself again. What do you need? It's already done. The whole thing is already push button. And that's where we should be. We don't need, like, all we need to do is revalue what these buildings are, tear down some of them that are, dilapidated, and start rebuilding them with the right. We already have the people, we already have the knowledge. of what materials we should use to generate energy. We already know we could build giant organite pieces of buildings could be built as organite rather than just energy receivers, which most of the tall buildings in the cities are energy receivers for what you'd call the illuminated ones. But even that's I don't want to go on down that traverse that path. But yeah, I think I covered that as much as I wanted to. Let me go see what the title was and see what I didn't cover. And so sorry for frying your brain anymore. If I did there, Jonathan. Eternal Sunshine, Dreams, Language, and Memory Systems. Yeah, I think I covered just about everything there. What's up, Electric Tile? Yeah, see, Electric Tile. You probably one of the only ones. You know what I mean? You probably one of the only ones out there. You got the that's what's up. One of those things probably for you open the doorway and how they kind of overlap each other. But most kids you see out here today, most like mid-level execs doing all this work, they ain't got time for it. They don't got time for it. They don't see they too busy. They got social life, they got social media, they got to get to their job, which is like I mean most of them some might be working from home, but then they're stuck in their house, right? And then they're socially socially inept. But yeah, I hear you though. You one of the ones. So I think I covered most everything here. Eternal Sunshine, the dream world. Yeah, the dreams yeah, I covered the dreams and the future and memory and language. And yeah, I think I covered all of that as memory systems and language work together. So even if we get right into the computer programming languages, these languages are making these systems. And I just want to revisit this. These systems that the complexities of the system are to make things more refined and easier for everyone else. And that's what we're supposed to be at. That's where people are supposed to be living right now. Like technology is the thing. Tools are the things that free us of the toiling in the fields. You know, we first were like bent over backwards, scraping up mud with our hands, and then realized, oh, we can stand up and make this. We can just make this tool, and then we could put brass on the end, and all of a sudden, look at how much easier this is. I made myself a shovel, and then we said, oh, look at. Then we hit what we had was the beast of burden. We say, oh, we could just stand behind this ox, and this ox can plow this field. Oh man, that's a tool right there. We made friends with the ox, and the ox helped us out. Cool. That was yeah, but no, everybody's vegan now. Let's not use the animals. All right, fine. That's fine. Let's use technology. So that we're using a different kind of tool. We started using plastic tools and metal tools, and we started alchemizing tools out of the land. And we're at the point we've alchemized things to the point that there's like we're already at infinite possibility with computers. We're already doing infinite like what we're already living in like at the we're at the point where in the past people like in the 80s I don't think anybody was really living in the dream. It was the beginning of that evolution or revolution. Yeah, it's hard to say evolution. It's even hard to say revolution because it's all spirals. You know, there's only circular things for people that get stuck in time loops. And even the 88, even that infinite 88 is somewhat of a time loop. You're supposed to get into 9, which plants a seed. So there's a little interesting thing because 88 8 plus 8, you know, gives you 16, which is 7, which really is interesting. You go from 8 back to 7. But I digress on all of that talk. So maybe I'll just keep this one short. What are we at? 25 minutes here. Yeah, we've got 25 minutes in. I'll give anybody on here like one last question. If anything said didn't line up or make sense or didn't at least stir up some thought, stir up your mind a little bit. Because sometimes my effort here is to stir someone's mind because their mind is concrete We have to chisel it out and stir it up and change the mind. And other times it's to still people's minds, just to relax it. So I try to sometimes I'll use my voice in a certain tone, plus use information to do a weird. Um, a b- I guess you would call it like the was it Stanislav Grof? No, it was biohemisync. Like I'm hemisyncing people's brain by using the sound of my voice with the kind of things I'm saying, syncing up the creative aspect of your right brain, your feminine brain, and then causing an echo, which is the mala beads. The mala beads are going, like people say, your voice is very monotone. Monotone. There's a single tone to my voice. It's a mala bead. So you put it in your hand and you start going through the mala beads, and it keeps what you'd call time. So it keeps one part of your brain balanced, while the other is excited, which is what kind of should happen. So that's my attempt. I don't know if it always works. George, I'm not going to answer that again. I've said it 1,000 times. I know you probably haven't been here, but don't drive fast. Do a urine fast. If you have to ask that question, that's the simplest way to answer it. If you have to ask it, then you shouldn't be dry fasting. So no, don't do a dry fast. Of course, Kia. Let me get a sip of my tea here. Yeah. Oh, you've been practicing mirror writing. Nice. I might do some interesting Zen techniques today. It's funny. It's funny. All these things that I know about, I think it's just because I speak about them and I think about them. They somehow get they somehow get activated within me. Like I don't because I can conceptualize them in my mind. I can't necessarily visualize everything. I'm not a great visualizer. Sometimes I am. Sometimes, you get in that little spot where you wake up and you're going to sleep and you're in that. Oh, you can kind of visualize things, and you become very lucid in the way you can see things and create things. But there's more of a thing that occurs for most people, which is because their pineal gland has been so shut off, and they don't really have, like, it's black behind their eyeballs. Where what you do is you conceptualize things. Conceptualizing is much easier, because I think most people in society today and right now, I think this is very, 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 very important. They get taught about meditation and visualization, but most people can't visualize for shit. I used to get so frustrated with this shit. I'm like, I can't visualize anything. I don't. How do you do this? Like, oh, just visualize it. I mean, fucking visualize it. It doesn't make any sense. All I see is black. You want me to meditate? How do you meditate? Uh, it's like this. I'll even go off a little farther in this meditation thing. Because Torin was talking about it yesterday. They're trying to get kids in school to meditate. Well, meditate on what? You got kids in school. You're gonna tell them to meditate on something? These kids are sitting here in school, uh, and their dad ain't home. Their mother's a bitch. They ain't get fed this morning. They're getting yelled at 24 hours a day. They live in the hood. You know what I mean? And you want them to meditate? What the fuck they gotta meditate on? You can't teach them meditation. You meditate on how to do schoolwork better so they can be more part of the system. That's ridiculous. Yeah, obviously there's different types of meditation, but the whole thing for the school meditation is what are we meditating? What are the schools building these days? Remember, the school system was designed explicitly for Henry Ford and the Industrial Revolution. The school system was designed to build humans that were robotic, obedient workers. Well, but we don't need that anymore. We can already see the future. It's clear. It's very evident. There's not too many people needed here. There's not too many people needed to do all the work. The only thing left really is service industry, and even that is going to all the machines really. Like what? So there's really nothing left. There's just humans should be just out here having a good old time, enjoying their family, being tribal, sharing wisdom, etc., etc. That's all that's left.
The school system has no purpose anymore. There's zero purpose for the school system. I mean, you have to have just the tiniest bit of conceptualizing a future. It's 2018, apparently. This is what they tell. I mean, I'm living in 3030, but it's 2018 for y'all. Can you not see like how like what really do people need to be doing right now? You don't really need somebody at the grocery store. You don't really need somebody there to check you out. They already have systems where you can drive your cart through and it reads everything that's in your cart. We don't need people at the grocery store. What if you need to talk to anybody at the grocery store? You don't really want to stand in that line at the grocery store to have this inane conversation with the person that's stuck there for 8 hours that hates their fucking life for being stuck there. So okay, look at that. We've already eliminated that. Nobody wants to be doing that. Get into the we've already automated everything to go on with the computer systems. The automobiles are already even where we've automated the automobile, even though some people out here are like, oh, the Tesla's crashing. Oh, that's all like propaganda nonsense, you know. But all of these slave systems, the slave species, the human, is really not needed to do any work anymore. What is it? Can anybody offer me something here? How many people really need to be employed to be doing anything right now? How many people just aren't on like at their job every day just scrolling fucking Reddit? How many people aren't? How many people? How many? You know how many kids go to school and listen to me talk rather than listening to the school teacher because they know the school teacher has nothing to offer them? You know how many people are at their job like their job is just mundane bullshit? Everybody's going to go to. I know people that go to work and they have a job where all they do is have a meeting about meetings to have a meeting about more meetings. Like how many meetings are we talking about here? Like what are we all going to meet about? We're going to just meet up and talk again? That's all they do. And then they go on conferences. Why do you think they have conferences all over the world? What, so they can have one person stand up and say, hey, we've introduced this new technology. We have 10,000 people in the city of New Orleans. New Orleans has one of the biggest fucking convention centers you've ever seen. It's the funnest city. So people have conventions in New Orleans, in Orlando, in Las Vegas. Why? So one person can talk about this new emerging technology that nobody in the room needs to touch, nobody in the room needs to do anything about, but they can all come down here, listen for a few hours, and then go out and get all fucked up and have a good old time, listen to some music, party, blow off some steam, and that's what it's for. Because they don't need anybody. They don't need, like, all they're doing is showing a product to 10,000 people about the future that no one's going to have to touch. Because in the year 2025, in the year 2020, we could just go 2 years ahead. We're already in the straight up version of the J curve. We're already like the J curve. We're already like right there. Like we went through the little bit of curve, and now we're just like it's a straightaway. So you know how you got that, you the hairpin turn, or what? It's not even a hairpin turn. You're just gonna take around that corner right there in your car. You got to kind of slow down a little bit, and then all of a sudden you hit that straightaway. Like that's where we're at. We're on the straightaway, but right now, like that's technology. We don't need anybody doing anything. Garbage men don't even really need to exist. You know what I mean? Now we get Tesla. Now we get Tesla automated garbage trucks. Whoa. I mean, they don't even really need anybody to operate the shit. Maybe one person to drive it. Maybe. But I know some people that like driving. I know some people it's a meditative practice to drive. So maybe some people want to do that. But come on, help me out here, people. How many people really need to be employed? How many people really need jobs? How many people really need to be out there doing anything? How many people right now have jobs? Like the percentage of people out there right now that I know, they're out there 40 hours a week. And they've probably done 5 hours of work. Yet everything's getting done. You could ask yourself. You could probably laugh at yourself and go, "Yeah, last time I went to my job, I was on my phone. I was doing this. I was, bullshitting. I didn't really have anything to do. All you really got left over, all we really got is customer service dealing with broken ass products. So the only trick the only trick of the system, I'll tell you the trick of the system: get rid of planned obsolescence. Create things that are actually heirloom technology, things that can be easily upgraded. Get rid of planned obsolescence, and you get rid of the need for most anybody working in even at customer service. Because then instead of designing products to break, we design them to be upgraded. And then Instead of the person going, oh man, my shit broke, I need to call up customer service, they go, oh, it broke, let me take it over to the store and just replace the part. And all of a sudden, customer service ain't needed. They just need a new part. So what? How many people we need? Like, honestly, how many? If there are 7 billion people, which I don't really think there's 7 billion people, but let's just say there is. How many of them really need to be working? What I mean, who's really doing it? Who's really doing a job? All we got out here really, we got a bunch of people painting dildos. That's about it. And even that you could put on a computer system. You know what I mean? The only real people that are doing any work are artists. The only real people that need to put in any work are the artists, the comedians, the musicians, philosophers, future thinkers. That's it. So where are we at here? What's up, Katrina? Oh, guasha skin cleanse? Yeah, Katrina, that's the way to go. Yeah, guasha. Gua, the sha is your blood, is your lymph system. I talk about this a lot. It's really good for you. It's one of the best things. I should do it a lot more considering how often how often I'm out drinking and eating shit, and how sticky my skin gets to my how sticky my lymph gets in my system. Yeah, gouache is a awesome way to go. And if you or cupping and gouache, it's funny. You can get online and get yourself a gouache uh, toolkit for about $12, a decent one. You can get the old bullhorn ones, or you can get the plastic ones. They both have their advantages, and you can get online and get yourself for like $19 a cupping set. They're both awesome. They're both awesome, awesome tools. So yeah, there you go. I don't really know how much more to say about that. I mean, I've said shit out about it before. You could ask deeper if you want. I mean, how far you going to go on what guasha is. Like, I mean, you see what it does. You're basically just removing removing you're not really breaking anything. You're not giving yourself a bruise. You're just kind of just opening up some pathways on the superficial layers of your skin. You know, I always explain it with that part of the chicken that's kind of like silver, that kind of is that's what's getting stuck. It's getting stuck to your skin or your muscle, and that just needs to be loosened up. We've just been dehydrated, and so it became gunky and gooey, and so it sticks to things. And gua sha will open that up and loosen everything up. Yeah, Tyler Tolman talks about it. Yeah, he didn't get the word right. It's two words. It's gua and sha. Gua is sha is the part of this. Sha is your blood basically. But yeah, it's awesome stuff. It's simple to do. And thank you for the happy birthday. And even if you can't wait and you want to start doing it, go in your cupboard and get yourself a ball jar lid, or get yourself a lid. You could use anything that has a nice little edge to it. Like, you don't want it to be too scrapey. And you put a little oil on your skin at 45-degree angle, and you just you'll hear a little crunchies here and there. I mean, getting back to see, this is getting back to what we should be doing. We should be having technology take care of all this shit, and we should all be getting ourselves all fixed up, going to the healing art centers, which is really basically what ancient Egypt was. So we should be going and listening to sound therapy with Tibetan ringing bowls, and we should be getting massage, and we should be getting aromatherapy, gua sha, cupping, and just relieving our body from the stress that we've put it under. Meaning, you relieve Ma, or the mother, because your body is the mother's dilemma. Your mind is the man's dilemma. We've somehow managed to cause a dilemma of the mind and of the body, and now we got robots that can take care of all that bullshit. We already put all the thinking into the robots, and we already put all of the physical thing into the robots and the technologies. Let them do that shit. They got no feelings about it. They don't give a fuck. There's no consciousness to them. We're not playing that game. Okay, well, Zen said there's robots that don't have consciousness, but apparently humans, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, all right, stop. Just, okay, enough. Enough. I get it. Everything has an energy system. We're all one system, but just relax with all that shit. It's like people like, well, animals, if you eat vegetables, those vegetables have feelings too. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that. Don't do that. Don't comment on that later. For anybody who comes here in the future that wants to play that silly argument. I can see the energy around the book. Well, yeah, I get it. Yeah, so can I. So can I. Da Vinci was just a channel. Traditional time travel concept can't be applied to him. Yeah. Uh, Garrett Jonah's video call. We are from the future. Hey, Electric Towel. If you hit me up on, in one of my other videos, because I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna come back through here and read that again, and I'm gonna forget that. Or you can obviously just hit me on the emails, man. Super Champion Rocker. That's what I'm talking about. See, you getting paid to listen to Zen. I wonder how much money I'm making people. I do. I think I'm making people a lot of money. I mean, just in the sense of like, okay, you listen to me talk for 2 hours. You getting paid whatever you are at your job. You getting paid to listen to me. But like on the real, how much money are people making off of me? I don't even care. It ain't money. That's just energy. I got lots of it. I have lots of informed energy to offer people. So here it is, free knowledge. Hey Jonathan, how to utilize gamma wave state from driving? You mean while driving? You should. I don't think you should be driving in gamma until you're familiar with it. You'd want to sit down and pretend you're driving. Sit yourself in a comfy chair and go through the breathing practices. You already know the gamma breathing practice, right? Because you're gonna pass out. You don't want to be trying to get into gamma while you're driving a car. Gamma was putting you in like the driver's seat to your consciousness. Yeah, there you go, Katrina. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they have to do. That's what they were made for. And when we say they, we have to stop Sophiaing them. We still have to trying to give them some sort of human like qualities. We have to stop personifying robots. Humans have this well, we've been trained to have it by accident, but we've been trained to try to humanize everything and to personify everything. We try to give dogs human type, this because they live with us and so close to us. We try to make them human like. We look at our stuffed animals that we have as children and we personify them and we look at and we always try to label something in a way to give it a name. We even do it to our cars. We do it to our cars and our boats. Oh, that look at she's like, and we give her a name. We give her a name. The car, we give her a name. And so we need to stop all that. I mean, it's nice, it's cute, but as George Carlin told you, cute is such a ugh, cute is I hate the word ugh, but whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna go on a yarn about cute or where the word QT comes from and all of that. But yeah, I went off there. So yeah, the robots are gonna be. That's what those things, those objects, those inanimate, non-living, uh, mineral type objects. That's what they like doing. That's their job. They want to be bound together with other. See if okay here you want to say it's a living system. Everybody wants to go. Okay, I can see Reiki. I can see everything has energy. Everything's living. Everything's so vibrant. Well, okay, these vibrant colors and these vibrant things, we'll call them stones. Okay, we'll call them granite, we'll call them rocks. They want to be organized into a larger system. So what we're actually doing is we're taking these stones that we see. We go and we see these stones and there's like 50 pebbles on the beach and they're not really touching each other. And we say, "Hey, let me grind you all up and we're going to put you into one thing." And they go, "Really?" We've caused rocks that were disparaged and disproportionate to each other. Different sized rocks. There was 100 on the beach, and we took 100 rocks and we ground them up and we put them all into one thing. They became this piston for an engine that drove a fucking car. And we offered them everything that people today are like, I want to experience singularity. Maybe those rocks want to as well. And we're the gods to those rocks, which are archonic forces that are kept away from each other. And we turned into a piston that drove economy, that drove society. You know how happy they are? Anybody wants to play that? Well, they were just, I could see their, well, now they're one thing. Is that better? Is that better? So there's the thing about taking minerals and stones and putting them together. Yeah. Yeah, and bakers. Thank you, Kia. Bakers. We need bakers. We need all the things that were alive back in the Renaissance for the most part. A poet and a baker. Yeah, Katrina, that's the precipice for most people, I think. Instead of being mad, yeah, Katrina, this is where I went through all that about I don't know 15 minutes in. So feel free to scroll back whenever this is all done. Feel free to start at the beginning. I think this was a pretty good talk. I think everybody here, even though not everybody has given me a thumbs up, so screw you guys. No, again, I'm kidding. But again, it's just for the future time dwellers that come across this information. But I thought this was a pretty good talk so far. With the Gasha cleanse, it is the baking soda content. Oh, Guasha. Hey, Katrina, there you go. No, don't listen to them on baking soda. Stop it. Stop it with the baking soda. No, don't worry about that. Just go ahead. All you're doing is rubbing your skin. Maybe I have it all wrong. Maybe Tyler Tolman said to do it all wrong. All you do is you grab your, well, it was normally a buffalo horn, I think, or a bull horn, or maybe a rhino horn even. But, and there was actually a reason energetically for using those things, but let's not go that far. You can just use the plastic tools and an oil. And all you're doing is scraping against your skin to give yourself what looks like a bruise, but it's not really a bruise. And that's it. That's all you're doing. The baking soda and everything else, that's not what gua sha is. He's got it all wrong. That's right. He kept bringing things into, he said, this is the gua sha cleanse. No, that's not. Gua sha is the tool and the sha. That's all. So forget that. A separate thing altogether, if you want to, would be to use on your skin as a cleansative thing, would be to use, now depending on the level of oiliness of your skin and your general, what's your skin, like if you're oily, you'd want to cleanse yourself with a high grain alcohol. That would dry off your skin from all of the excess alcohol, but that's only for certain people, oily ass fat people that have been eating too much, eating too many greases and things that as they're sweating out, they literally need the fats and oils are getting stuck in their skin. They need to use alcohol on their skin. I mean, I'd even suggest it inside, but that I would suggest for most of them, they need more beer in their system because they need all the probiotics of a living beer. These people getting fat out here, they get the beer bellies because they're drinking beers that don't have probiotics in it. We need probiotic-rich beers. It's just what they burn off because the probiotics are going to start to eat away at all of the built-up food item that got stuck in their stomach. Well, not their stomach, their intestines that caused them to have a beer belly because their intestines got real big because it had to make up for all the extra food and cheese that they're eating that got stuck in their intestines that now blew their stomach out to make, I say stomach, but that area to give them the big belly. That's what happens. People be looking fat and getting big because they eat. You go out and you drink, and what do? You eat cheese pizza, and you eat all these disgusting fried foods. I'll say this 1,000 times over in every one of my videos. It's not the beer, it's not the wine, it's not the liquor. It's the shit you're eating at that time. Because you're eating it at 2 in the morning, and at 2 in the morning, go to the Taoist clock of what's going on. It's a simple clock of telling you what organs are supposed to be working, and you're about to go to sleep, and you jam all of this food in your system after you've drank. And they say, oh, it's to soak up all the alcohol. No, that alcohol is already in your blood system. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You're not soaking up any alcohol. All of that cheese and everything else is then going into your system and screwing up your intestines. Hot, oily, fried foods and shit. Oh, I got a fatty liver. I got liver disorder. It ain't from the, it ain't, it's from that cheese. It's from all the shit that you're eating all day long. And then especially when you're drinking. And then you get the beer belly because you're drinking pasteurized, filtered beers. You ever drink an unfiltered beer? You're gonna get the shits. It's just like eating sauerkraut. It's a living system. You're gonna get the shits because you should be shitting because it needs to digest the things that have accumulated as a waste product and dried up inside of your intestines and colon. There's my little spiel on that for today. So yeah, the guasha is not baking soda. That he's wrong about that. Mike Miller, 100-day fast. That sounds excellent, man. Are you doing like just daily and you about to eat at night or what, man? What's it look like? Cantrell, what's going on, man? There's not only one kind of fast. What you talking about, Mike Miller? That is not true at all. Ah, Katrina, yeah, why you put me in the company of Angelina Jolie and Russell Brand? That's funny. I'm very much a combination of both of them. But then again, that means there's six of us because we're Geminis. Yeah, I might have known that, but I guess so. And thank you, Kia. And Katrina, how dare you put me out there like that? I gotta fill those shoes now, huh? uh, oh, but awesome? You don't like awesome? I really like the word awesome. But I always say awesome to things that are like bad, and people get really confused. It's like that's awesome, and they think because they grew up in the '80s and everything was fucking rad and awesome. That's probably why you don't like it. I get it. Uh, but I say it to something that's bad, and they go, "Why are you saying awesome to bad?" Because it just means some awe. Like I'm in awe of how amazing that car accident was, or something. Yeah, there you go. Electric tile. A mix of heirloom and technology is the vision. This is correct. Yeah, France, your bakers and butchers are more important than yeah, and I think the butchers should come and find all the presidents and just like, hey, I think y'all need new jobs. We don't need you. You ain't running shit out here. Yeah, Katrina, that's funny. I haven't burped this morning, have I? But yeah, all the other videos, it's a sign of good digestion. Farting and burping are good digestion. I mean, obviously we shouldn't be farting or burping too often. We just belch and burp and fart because we're digesting things, and it's the gases have to come up or down. And have to. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie BFG, Big Friendly Giant. Really good movie. And there's this scene in the movie. He has this drink. I forget what it's called, but the bubbles go in the opposite direction. It makes people fart. So yeah, there's just something about stirring up the alchemical process. So you looking at an alchemy lab. What do you see? There's beakers bubbling everywhere because it's going through the process of pulling things apart. So beers and digestifs, these are all helping to, like a digestif is what it's doing is you're putting an alcohol substance in your stomach to cause your stomach to spit out more acid. And so that way when you start eating, it's gonna be easier to digest the food, therefore digestif. And then during the meal, you're gonna be consuming, depending on what you're eating, and most of the places when you're having diets that are heavy with meat or heavy with things that are cooked or cooked in certain ways, you want to be able to break that food down. And the easiest way to break food down is with beer, a living beer, once again. And obviously, like what happens in a car. You ever hear somebody that tunes a car and there's an air to fuel ratio? And so somebody that's really into like tuning cars, they say they want their car they would rather run rich, but whenever they step on the gas, you hear the pop, 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 like the burp out the back. Well, that's because they'd rather have it running rich than lean, because if it's running lean, you can burn your engine out. So they'd rather have that loud pop in the side to waste a little gas. They're not mad at wasting a little gas. And so that wasting a little gas is really akin to the alchemy lab. The car is the alchemy lab. Your stomach is the alchemy lab. And if you're going to put food in there, you should be putting beer in there as well. And that's why if you're not drinking beer, they're going to be consuming kombucha, which has alcohol in it too. Anybody out here is vegan? They don't drink beer. They're a raw vegan and they're drinking kombucha. Well, you ain't a raw vegan. Sorry to tell you, buddy, because kombucha is a living system that has been turned into and cooked. It cooked. As soon as you make beer, as soon as you make distilled liquids, as soon as you ferment a food, the fermentation is actually causing the food to heat up internally to such a high degree that it's cooking it. So people that say they're on a raw diet, nope. If you're eating sauerkraut, that's living food. Sorry, buddy, doesn't work. So that sauerkraut is very much akin to a beer. So when you get into like the really what the natives were doing, what the tribal units were doing all over the land, they always used alcohol. They used beer. They used living foods. All of it was living. They weren't playing with dead things. The dead things are supposed to be doing the work, which is the technology. Yeah, Katrina, or Katarina. I called you Katrina. Katarina, yeah. Yeah, not everything I do is healthy, but you know what? Because I don't have quibbles and qualms with it, because I don't worry about it too much, it becomes healthy. My mind changes it slightly. I mean, sometimes I'm like, this is a little stupid. This is a little unhealthy, and I kind of, the resulting thing is maybe I don't feel so good about it, but it's because I didn't have a good thought about it. But yeah, that's fine. We change it. We just change your mind slightly and it changes the way it works. If thoughts become things and I say this is healthy and this is fine, it becomes fine. It becomes healthy. Kia, which brand of beer is unpasteurized and unfiltered? I don't think you're going to have to find some very, you're going to have to find like any of the major brands. There's only two major brands that are unpasteurized, but they're almost always filtered, which is a little confusing. But you can find, just Google that. Just try to find some microbreweries, some local breweries. You'll definitely find some. Like if you go to a brewery, you'll definitely find some. But from the store, it's going to be harder to find the unpasteurized, unfiltered. But I think the only two unpasteurized, I might be mistaken, are Miller High Life unpasteurized and Green Bottle Rolling Rock. I could be wrong about that, but just Google what major what national brands of beer or major brands of beer are unpasteurized. Check that out and see if I'm right about that. I think there's 3, and then you can find the local ones. And just remember, if you're going to definitely be farting a lot, and you're definitely going to be digesting your food. Fruit fast. Yeah. The solstice is the 23rd, right? I never knew now you got me wondering how I say the word lovely. What's up, freak? Katarina, no, man, Emma doesn't divert all my attention. I just be playing sometimes in line with her. But I've talked to her I've talked to her one-on-one, so she diverts my attention less now that we've got to have we've actually I've got to hear her voice and we've talked. Oh, so as soon as you say that, Katarina, as soon as you said that, who shows up? Emma shows up. Look what just happened. Zen, I just bought you something, and freak. All right, man. You have my email, right? Theoluminous. It's underneath the video. Hit me there, and I'll give you my Addy. I'll tell you where you can. Thanks, man. Yeah, hey, Katarina, you can't just speak things and not expect it to come into existence. Weren't we just talking about this? If I think something about how good the food is or how bad the food is, it will surely come to pass. you can definitely dig up seeds. You can definitely cancel orders, but you didn't have time to. The 21st, not the 23rd. Okay. What's up, Zach Chrono? Living Chrono. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm totally excited. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know, Mike. I don't think I can outfast you. No, man. If you can do 100, I don't know if you're doing it like. Are you doing it on urine? You doing a urine fast? 100 day water fast. Nah, dude. You would definitely end up dead. Yeah, you can do urine. Urine you can do because you're resupplying your own light body. You're resupplying all the stem cells and all that stuff. I mean, that's the only way you can do it. People, you can't. You could hurt yourself doing more than 40 days on water, especially distilled water, just because you're going to be removing too much. Once you breathing right, you could, but you're lying and crying. Mike Miller, what you talking about, man? Mike Miller, am I really, I don't understand what you're saying. You just here to disrupt now? Come on, man. This is silly. I just thought, I don't even need to look at your comments. I'm just going to have you sitting over there like in the back class, mumbling about nothing. All right, well, peace out, dude. Have a good day, man. Because I never did what, man? What are you talking about? Last opportunity to come to correct. Because you're not making any sense. All right, Mike. See you later, buddy. It's been fun. I'm put you in a timeout, little kid. Silly little kid. Emma, laid you on the table. Lay down and take a nap. So what's up, everybody? Mike had a lot to say. Troll bots be out sometimes. You met Russell. Hey, you did? You met Russell Brand? Yeah, I dig that dude. He's super awesome. I really really like him. Russell Brand is a special dude. He's extremely quick witted, extremely quick witted. Yeah, his auric field is super huge. Like if I clean myself up a little bit, I wonder if like me and Russell Brand walked around if shit would explode. If me, Russell Brand, and Angelina Jolie hung out one time, just walked around, the June 4th Gemini energy, they would be like, they'd be like seeing six people. That would be really funny. Is his Katrina? Is his interesting? You say strong presence. That's the correct word because some people have an electric presence and some people have a magnetic presence and some people have both. So do you think it's one or the other? Or you think it's a combination? So interesting. There you go. That's the electricity. He's very magnetic, but he's electricity. Yeah, yeah, because he's powerful. Yeah, it's the super Gemini. Yeah, that's for sure. It's like something that has that much magnetic presence has to have that much polarity on the other side. If you have that much magnetism, then you have to have that much electricity. I mean, anybody on here has heard me do it. Like watch one of my shows. Like we all having all love and light, kumbaya, sitting around the fire time, and then somebody says something incorrect, and it's gonna go the other way. It just there's really like, yeah, there we could just sit in the middle, and I could, all right, that's fine. Okay, you don't know how to describe it. Well, I'll have to meet him one day. I'll have to definitely meet him. Let me try to let me put that into my future. When will he be in the U.S. and where will he be at? I'll have to bilocate him. Oh, Sad Guru's coming to the U.S. I'm gonna have to go meet him. I'm gonna have to go do something with Sad Guru. It does. That's yeah. Ain't that funny? Why? Why? How'd you know? That's how you know that's my number two. Katarina, you said so. You got a little. You said as soon as Emma comes in, as soon as Emma comes in, she's gonna take up all my time. And here you are, Katarina, and I'm giving it all to you right now. Ain't nobody else got shit to say right now. Oh no, I don't think it's that, Katarina. I think it's just that most people in here already know me and already talk to me. They talk to me quite a bit, so they're like, well, if somebody new has something to ask, go for it. They'd rather. Your comments are not done. What are you talking about? When you said Katarina, you said you've been drinking, huh? Where you at? You're over in. You said you're in France. So it's what time for you? It's like 11 p.m., huh? Well, no, not that late. It's like 9. Slovakia. Slovak. Yeah, I would have figured with Katarina and the last name, but I thought maybe you moved. Pla, Plavuchova. 12:15 p.m. Okay. Plavuchova. Yeah, so nobody leaves because you they just hang out in the background because they already they talk to me all the time. We do this all the time. Oh, look at I have a strong feeling. I have a strong feeling that Mayan is going to appear soon. Mwah! Katarina, are you the Mayan Jin? We're all the same thing. Even Mike Miller over here. Even Mike Miller. He's just one more version of me. I'm a version of him, or how does that work? No, we're all part of the computer system. We're all just computerized voices, digitally enhanced. Can you ask me something about your friend Ami? Sure. You just did. She is. She's Okay. Do you know in some astrology they tell you there's a missing 13th sign? She's a Sag. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. 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 See, that's interesting. Cusps have the same kind of general tendencies as Geminis. 23rd. The Sages, or excuse me, cusp babies have the same kind of that polarity as a Gemini does, just in a little different way. It's a little more. It's actually people think Geminis is the craziest ones. No, 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 no. The cusp babies are the craziest ones. But there's only. I mean, I guess there's. I mean, there's what is there? Is there 12 cusp babies? Or, I mean, because the cusp can be, some people say it's on 1 day, some people say it's on 2 days, and some people say the cusp is 3 days. But, so you know what I mean? So if there's 12, there's only 12 people that have 12 out of the year, where there's 30. 30 in most months, right? There's 30 babies in most months, 30 humans. So the Gemini, no, our polarity and our duality is actually a little different. But cusp babies have the most because they're straddling two different elements, right? So you can cusp like a water, a fire and a water element. And if someone's fiery, they can put their own fire out in a bad way and in a good way. Oh, you know what, Katarina, you can still be my Slovakian on me. That's fine. I'll accept that. Pisces, Libra, and Gemini are the split signs. Yeah, yeah. The two fishes for the Pisces. The Libra is really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know Libra was. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. So do you know a lot of people that I mean actually you probably don't even know a lot of well I mean you probably know a lot of people but you keep yourself so much you don't really get out like that. But do you know any cuss babies? You know I'm just fucking with you. I know how like you're just like fuck it. I'm hanging out here. I don't want to deal with these people. What up, Jewmeister? Okay. You know what? I don't have this Libra sign inside of my head right now. Oh, that you're right. You're right. You know what? When you said Libra, for whatever reason, I had a harp in my mind. I had the image of a harp. I have no idea. But yeah, you're right. Are you shitting me, Jude Meister? Oh, dude, Jude Meister. Ah, fuck yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hit me up on the email again, and I'll shoot it right back to you. That's crazy. Thank you, man. See, this is what we talk about, man. This is what I'm talking about. See, I told you, people don't get it. Sometimes people will take shit from you, but I already cast a spell on it. I was like, all right, fine. Whoever took my two decks, you can have them, because I got something better. And I was like, I just gotta wait a second, because you know what? I didn't even really want to be playing with tarot right then. I was trying to do other things. I was trying to do too many things, and so like the tarot was just like getting in the way of other things that I was doing. And so like whatever, I'll get it. I'll get it back. Man, Jewmeister, thank you. And which cusp are you? And yeah, Emma, do you know any cusp besides now? Like I said cusp. We got the Jewmeister. Which cusp are you? Man, Jewmeister, thank you. That's crazy. Yeah, Jude Meister, you should from the beginning of the show was pretty excellent. We're kind of just babbling around things here. We're just kind of just having a little chat right now. Usually it goes the other way around. Usually we have a chat for like 20 minutes and then I'll go off on some things, but we did like an hour of me talking pretty deep. Yeah, Aries Taurus. So Taurus Aries is so that's water and earth, or is Aries air sign? I always screw this up. Aries is Pisces, Aquarius. Uh huh. Oh yeah, digging the fire earth on a lunar eclipse too. That's why you heavy duty witchery, Emma. You got a lunar eclipse, mama. And that's some stuff that I really wish I could know. I just don't have that. I don't have that kind of information. I wish I could. I wish I could know when my parents were born. That would be really interesting to know. What's up, Da S? Yo yo. Yeah, Emma, you got now that I'm kind of I got a little time to just chill out for a minute. Um, and I'm back in the energy of New Orleans. Um, some more astrology and tarot will definitely be tarot will be at hand. Yeah, go ahead, man. Mike, you can ask me a question for sure. Yeah, Jude Meister. I'm gonna break that out later today. I gotta get. I'm gonna clean up my house a little bit and take this little doggy for a jaunt, and then shower up and maybe pull the deck out and see if we can't play around with it a little bit. Das. Shoot you some wisdom. What kind of wisdom you want? Hey man, if you want some wisdom, really, just like right now, I don't know if I'm gonna be saying anything of much value. We're just gonna be talking a little bullshit. Go to the beginning of the video. The first hour of this is pretty amazing. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. Yeah, Katarina. I don't know. Torn was up pretty late last night. I think he did a broadcast. I fell asleep during it, but he was wilding out last night. It was really good. Torn's last night video was excellent. He was getting into some things, but that's actually where I started this video. Kind of just you know, I don't know, adjusting a couple of things that he was talking about. Oh sure, Emma. Of course. Mike Miller already said what are you talking about? What you want me to say, Mike? Another opportunity. What's going on, man? What you want? What kind of information you want? If you're gonna go on a long fast, what do you want to know? If you're gonna go on a long fast, I'd fast here. I would fast on juice. If I was gonna do 100 days, it would definitely be on juice and urine. You know, you're gonna complement that with distilled water here and there, but juice and urine would be the way to go. And if you really want to go for 100 days, you should do a rainbow ridge fast, meaning go through the colors every week. So one week you would do red, the next week you do orange, and go through that. Juice fast that. Go through the whole color spectrum. In 49 days, you would have crossed the rainbow bridge and you would have reharmonized all of your organs. And if you want to be really smart about it, the first week you would do water. You would do water for a week, then you would just make sure and you'd clean out your bowels with some fiber blend. So you'd want insoluble and soluble fibers, maybe a little bit of clay, and you want to clean out your bowels. Then you go ahead and do 49 days worth of fasting using all of the fruit juice colors. And by doing that, you'd be taking the color vibration of red. I don't remember what it is. What is it like? 36 million hertz or whatever. I don't know. And you'd be vibrating that to your lowest chakra and the organ that is attuned to the red fruits. And then you would go through all of those and you would be able to harmonize all of those organs in your body. And then you might be able to hear the symphony playing inside of your body. That's what I would do. I'd also do like 7 days on water. Maybe after that, I don't know if I would do it after that or before that, because that would help clean out. I probably would do the 7 days on water before, yeah, or on urine before, and then I would do a week on water after, which is going to rehydrate your brain. So you'd have 49 on juice, you'd have seven on urine, and then you'd do a quick day or two on fiber blend. Then you do 49 on juice. Then you do another 7 on water. So there you got 49 and then 14. What's that? 63. There you go. Master number. Do 63 days. Don't do 100. Do 63. I just gave you the whole thing. 63-day fast. Urine, week. 7 weeks of the colors. And then a week of water. 63 days. Master number 9. Done. There you go. Yeah, I guess I'm not reading what you're saying, but that answers the question as much as maybe I'm not, man. You kind of just I don't know what you're saying. You're not eating for 100 days. You want advice, so I gave you advice. What do you want? Mike, where are you from? How old are you? How many years old are you? Where are you from? Where you living? How's your life? Yeah, of course, man. Of course, I mean, obviously, man, because you ain't saying shit. You just here, you're not even really asking anything. You just want me to while out on you. That's all you want. I'm not really interested in it. It's just silly. So, what do you want to know? Or again, okay, well then if you're above my level, go somewhere and find information. But you're above my level, man. You're 33. I get it. You're Eminem. I get it. I get it. Whatever you are, bot, troll, mason, all that shit. Like you're above my level. That's fine, man. I ain't even on a level. I'm zero. It don't matter to me, man. So go find somebody you get information from because I don't have it for you. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot here, Mike. I'm a dummy. Ask anybody. I'm a dummy. There's no reason for you to be here. Go find somebody that has information. Go listen to any of the people that have fasted for a long time. Because I have not. That was bullshit. I ain't done 40 days on water. I ain't even drink piss. I ain't even sitting here. So who's next? What up? And I already gave my advice, man. Yeah, Katrina, I do. I think a lot of people it's very helpful for. But I don't know anybody that has taken I don't know anybody that's gone the route of trying it and done it for a week and fasted that hasn't had outstanding results from it. I don't know anybody. You can find a lot of cats out there. Everybody, look at all the channels. Look at all the people just they speak about the wonders of their own waters. Yeah, I don't use mine as often as I should because I like to be because I don't I like to be in different as I've pointed out many times. I like to be in different environments, different kind of energies. It keeps me grounded. I don't want to be. I don't. There's people that people certain people need to talk to and certain people like no one Dave Murphy is a prime example. There's certain people that he's gonna be able to talk to and are gonna listen to him, and there's certain people that are not. He's not gonna sit down and have a prime rib with somebody. He's just not gonna do that. So the people he's talking to is the different people that I'm gonna talk to. So that's just the way that I see it. So that's kind of why I don't just that's why I don't do really long urine fasts. I mean, I've done days. I've done up to 7 days, but and again I'll be doing another one soon. But uh, I've done at least I've done one long water fast, and I've done some juice fasts, and I've done the lemonade cleanse and all that. But yeah, urine is a great idea. Yeah, yeah, Katarina, I hear you because yeah, the energy because you go to a high level of energy, and so that high level of energy, um, you're removing a lot, and you're introducing more. But to me, it seems like more of your own self and more biophotons and more like maybe biophotons ain't right, but it's more energy. It's just there's energetics in there, obviously. Merle, thanks for the excellent question. If you could have a choice after being here on Earth and the choice was, would you go back? What the answer would be? I mean, go back in time or back to here? I don't know, man. I mean, because to go back would imply a lot of different things. You know, would it be back to the same places, back to just the Earth realm? Because I ain't been everywhere on Earth, so I don't know. Um, the same time frame, or maybe a future time, or maybe a past time. Yeah, I think the answer would be yeah, I would choose to come back because everybody chooses to come back here. I think there's that's kind of like the recycling is some people talk about like the recycling of the spirits. I mean, they say soul, but that ain't right. They recycle fractions of the soul and spirits to come back here and do work at this level. So I think so. I think everybody chooses to a degree. I think if we just mean taking physical form, yeah. Merle, do I dig it here? Yeah, sometimes yeah, sometimes no. You know, everybody deals with their stresses and their depressions and their anxieties and all of those general things. But sure. What's not to dig, man? I mean, I get to travel a lot. I get to the beach, I get sunshine. I listen to great music, have awesome conversations all the time. Yeah, so there's what's not to like. So yeah, I think everything. I think the only thing is just observing reality becoming more and more. Uh, how, I don't want to say refined, but just like a better version of reality. Always it seems to appear. So in that way, yeah, yeah. I think electric towel. I think that gets back in the beginning of the video, the looping back onto it. That Mobius strip. You know, the Infinite Eight is kind of a Mobius strip. You're like, what side of the timeline am I on here? I don't know. What's up? Where are we here? But then we just, as I think what Torrens already done is he blew up the 88, and his mind is everywhere. You know, that's the if we're all like one infinite mind, just jumping in and out of bodies. I think that kind of happens too. You know, that we talk about having people that have like what do they call them? Jump-ins, where like somebody will be like dead and a new spirit will jump into their body, literally a different person with like that has a completely different, like a whole different set of things. Like channels can do this, where like channeling a different energy, but they're just doing it short time where they give up their body to let a different energy come in. So I think at the high level, what we're doing is kind of we're infinitely all of that jumping in and out of times and spaces and bodies and shit. Uh, from my point of view, what does it mean? The word observation. Well, I think observation has to do with the word objectivity. I think it's the ob. So it's to look outside. It's like everything is objective outside of us. Everything seems to be subjective inside of us. So we subject our views, which internal, like this is subjectively what I enjoy. So we subjectify things to something. But if we have objects all around us, they're just objects. They're out there. So I think there's something to do with the observable reality outside of us, because most people observe reality or whatever it is by listening outside and looking outside. But then you got all these people go inside. It's everything's all the answers are internal, which is there's places to go inside. Um, you might you the Sumerians, maybe what they did was they internalized themselves and became so minutely small that they're flying around in spacecrafts right now, but they're just so tiny that you can't see them. Maybe the Sumerians have been here the entire time, and it's not that there's a lost city of Atlantis. It's just they microed it. They put it so small inside of the smallest little area that they know how to they know how to change the size of things. If that makes add a little fun to that. My engine Abaddon. She spoke your name and you come through. What up, Abaddon? My engine has got his own timelines. It ain't even timelines. He just my engine and Torin are very similar in their spatial awareness and spatial reasoning. But my engine, hey, aren't we at MI9 at this point or MI13? Double O 13. We are the Sumerians. Yeah, we're super small. Yeah, yeah. Is that our ancient ancestors reborn? Maybe it's just the size. the size of the particulate matter. That last anybody that's seen it, I put it out there. That video that Savan put out, and it was about the ancient Sumerians. This is I mean, it wasn't his. It was some guy. It wasn't somebody else's presentation talking about what the ancient Sumerians were trying to express and how they might have actually become microcosmic creatures. And they're just like, those lights that you see flying around in the air when you're staring at the sun. Like maybe that's their spaceships. They're just traveling in light, but it's so tiny that you can't really see it. And so they got into that, and they got into what the elixir of life was. And some people were saying the elixir of life was might be a DMT, and other people was like, no, it's melanin. And I go, oh, well, melanin really ain't an elixir, is it? The elixir seems to be what's held within the urine. So the elixir is the urine, which holds, which because the urine's going to hold your here. There's going to be DMT in there. There's going to be atomic particulate in there. There's light in there. So I think the elixir is what the ancient alchemist always said. If they say, "Hey, you're carrying it around with you," well, what the fuck are you carrying around all the time? You're already carrying around the alchemical set. You're already the master, like you're already the alchemy unit. And so you look at all these laboratories outside of, I mean, that's fun to do and it's fun to look at and it's fun to play with. But like internally, like what are you carrying around with you? If you have it all inside of you, like what would it be? You would put an onboard system to repair. If you were God, which you are, you would create your system so perfectly that you had all the entire toolkit on board to repair yourself. The simplest thing to look at would be like what's right in front of you, your urine. And then we get into what urine means. And then we go, what is the connection to Men in Black and that cat and Orion's belt? The cat's name was Orion. And then we look up to Orion. And what's Orion? Wasn't somebody saying the other day that Saturn gave up its seat as time controller and now it's Orion? So what is Orion's belt? And what's right beneath your belt, Orin? Yeah, objectively, how would you transform your subjectivity into objectivity? The best person to ask would be the Mayan Jin on that. Yeah, I see it as many ways of doing it. I mean, some people like to use art to do it. Some people like to sing to do it. Some people talk. Some people make videos, right? Some people use notebooks to write something down, make sigils. That's one of the easiest ways. Some people play with tarot. Some people play with some people sit around a fire and just imagine something and then walk their next. Hey, they just sit around a fire, campfire. And they're like, tomorrow this is what I'd like to see, and they envision it and they walk into whatever environment they want the next day. So that kind of they start producing that objective reality outside of them, which is actually just part of your giant mind. So you're just walking around inside of your mind, anyways. So some of it would be just, there's those breathing practices, meditations, maybe a sigil. Sigils are helpful. Drawing, writing. Some people just want to write it out, but I say bypass that. Write it out and then make a sigil out of it. Yeah, program the experience. Yeah, yeah, mind you, and the programming of it is the that's the part that I always say that ask all the ancient teachers, and somebody says ask the teacher what they should do to better focus and get the thing they want, and the teacher says, well, meditate for an hour a day. Well, I ain't got time for that. Well, then meditate for 2. And that's kind of it. Is people are stuck in that thing where they're so busy doing whatever they're doing that they don't see a way to focus on their future projections. So there needs to be so the way we can compress. Let me try this. You can compress the time of meditation by making a sigil. So to program something, like you could sit there in meditation and you could think something. And you'd probably have to think it for a while to really get it to hold form in your head, hold firm form in your head. But if you were to go to make a sigil, what you're doing is you're getting it out of your head, putting it on paper and putting it in a subconscious place, and you've compressed it. So it takes you less time to do. So that would be the easiest way of programming something. Sit down and make some sigils. What kind of things you want? They could be objects. I mean, shit. I mean, this is the thing. Everybody's like, give up all of this reality. Give up the whole. We have too many things that we own, that we have, that we possess, or whatever this is. And these maybe not the right words. Owning and possessing is not the right word. Too much physicality. But we're living in a physical body, so let's enjoy the physical things. So what kind of physical things do you want? Because you can ask for emotional things or feeling things. Those are good too. Those are especially good. But most people want objects too. But if you program them with feelings, and then you get quicker response. Oh, the word Side. There's two D's in the Sidde, which is you got the Irish cities. Look up the word Sidde, and that you're gonna look into some Celtic history of what the cities were, which are the same thing as the cities are in. You'd say all of the, like, I don't want to say Egyptian or Indian, but like city. Usually it's more of an Indian term, but India is huge, right? There's so many countries there and states in there, and you got. I mean, it just depends on landmass, but in that area, you know what I'm saying. They call them cities, and there's two ways to spell it: Siddhi and Siddih, which is the same word, and it means the same thing. One means a person of power, and the other means a place of power. And you come to the Americas, you come to America, and what you get is the word City, which is a place of power. They just happen to. We're using a different current. This is why in their language, they're using D's, and here we're using a T. Because the way this, I'm going to go a little deeper here on you. The current in a city goes through a T, which is a cross or a grid system. So when you go to a city in America, it's all gridded out with T's. So it's grit T. You go to a gritty city, GRTTY, grit T city. But what they really mean is gritty, GRIDSIDDHI or IH. So the gritty city is different in a different place because they're making different grid forms. And the areas they live in aren't necessarily plotted out in squares, but in America, the cities are plotted out in cubes or T's. This is why you look up and all the electricity is on a pole that is a cross. And the cities are all plotted out in squares. Not all of them and not all places, but you'll see that. But you'll see the most powerful places designed out with basically using a keyhole or circular, not circular, but a different type of structure, a different type of shape, which is it isn't based on squares. The things around the major portion of the energetic center point of a city isn't a square. Most of people say, well, Times Square. Times Square ain't even really a square. Look at it. It goes off in all directions. It's not a square. Yeah. Cities even kind of connect to sigils, but yeah. Yeah, blood sugar, sex, magic. I mean, everybody out here is blood. Everybody is having sex with themselves and everything they're doing. And sugar is just, yeah, I mean, shit, it better be sweet. Torn, the multifractal child. Yeah, his show last night was crazy. Yeah, Katarina, tattoos are definitely sigils. As I've said before, and Maya and Jin could probably tell you this too, because he's got a badass sigil on his chest. I've been in an astral realm where I was sitting with the shaman, and three of my tattoos started glowing gold. So yeah, I'm pretty certain they are. And so this is why it's interesting of who tattoos you and what kind of ink you're using. So I think that's just a step up. I mean, I think they're all portals, because what you're doing is you're putting a this is the blood, this is part of blood magic, right? Because you're putting ink on your skin and blood is coming out. And so that you're putting a portal into your auric field and into your physical body. Then it heals up, and then the portal's closed. So once you have your tattoos there, but then you can actually use your tattoos as portals themselves. You can open them back up in an energetic way. But initially, what you're doing is you're opening up an energy system, and it's only open for a little while, because until it's healed up. But that's what you're doing. You're cutting a hole into your system so that you can. It's a the word is catheter or a cathedral. You're building cathedrals. A cathedral is what draws energy out of the land and out of the air. A cathedral, just like if you go to a hospital and they put a catheter in you, or remember the cathars. So this is the word, and this is what a tattoo is. And so it's a two-dimensional thing. Oh, you think Maya and Jen, you said the other way around. You think the tattoos were already there and we're just uncovering it. Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah. Anyways, getting back to before, what about all the false programming we had since childhood? Like, I'm guessing that's what you're saying. It's more efficient to go back to primal cause or finding a way to create a total new programming. Um, I think we done tried to search out the primal cause for all of creation for way too long. And I think we just need to accept that we're all making some. I think we're all just creating something anew. I think the idea is not to go back to the primal whatever. It's just to rid ourselves of the programming that's not serving us, and install our own programs. Find things that actually work with us. Like, does this serve me properly? Be part of your own kingdom, your own temple, your own system. Can I interact in a good way with these things, with these systems? So it just reorganizes the system. I would say, here you go. Let me answer that in the simplest way possible, by quoting Bucky Fuller. You don't get rid of an old system. You make a new system, so then the old system becomes obsolete. Think of phones. They'll give you a new phone, and people keep buying the new phones. It's making the old phones obsolete. So then nobody uses them anymore. It's not that they're not there. It's not that they couldn't be used. It's like right now, the old system was to, let's say, um, go and toil in the field and farm the land and do all of this by hand. And then the new system, which made that obsolete, was to make tools that would do it for us. Or maybe in the past, to get back to something I said earlier, and even shout out Sadhguru on this, talking about blue jeans, and how the U.S. or the Americas, how we are, us, all of us, the Americas, the Americans, we all wearing blue jeans, so the rest of the world wears blue jeans. So now we're reprogramming the world, not even meaning to, but who did it? Like, who's the programmer of the genes? This is a really deeper one, and Genie might be able to tell you. The genies control the genies, but why are there blue genes? Then we can talk about the Levi's or the Leviticus or the Lee genes or the Levi genes. Why are blue genes called Lees? And why are the people in China, why are their last names all Lee? Li or Lee? So now all of a sudden we're getting back to the ancient genies. Now, how come everybody's wearing blue jeans that are made from? So there's kind of that's a long system. That's a long kind of like, whoa, whoa, holy crazy. That's why we're wearing jeans. Why we call them that? And so changing genes, changing programs. The carpet thing. We used to make carpet by hand. Now we got factories doing it. We got machines doing it. That's making that old system is obsolete. freeing up our hands to take care of our children. That's what it's supposed to be doing. Freeing up your hands so you can be artistic, freeing up your hands so you can do the things that are helpful to the giant family, the Earth family. That's what the machines are supposed to be doing. As we loop back around to the beginning of this conversation. Yeah, yeah, and just mind, and I don't, the false programming. I think it means like the the burden program. Maybe that's what it was, but yeah. Das, I didn't get what you meant there. Despite your parents rise you somewhere out of this society, I didn't really get what you're saying. Yeah, Kyle does this for sure. I like that, my engine. Everything happens for a reason until you realize nothing's happening at all. Electric Tau. I think that's already happened. You say how soon we witness technological saturation, the point where anything is possible. I think that's already happened. I think it's just. Let me comment on something that I said the other day. There's already the technology. It's already there, where we can heal people with sound. It's there. It's done. Nothing. It's already created. And from let me just use that standpoint. And the reason that most people don't know about that is if we told everybody they could just heal themselves with sound and it's free, if we just give them a free hospital pass, they would be out there doing the dumbest shit. Or they could just go to the hospital and heal themselves with some sound things. So I think it's just a little bit of a the only that thing's already happened. Like the technology's already there. It's just a little bit of most most humans on the planet, there's different growth phases for different systems. And we call it systems, but it's all integrated systems. Human beings are all systems that are integrated as a whole system, but there's different parts to it, and some of them are in different processes of upgrading. And so, like you can't, just like you don't give the 5-year-old keys to the Ferrari, you don't tell everybody that like we can, if you trip over that thing and fall on stairs and bust your arm, now did you trip and fall down the stairs because you wasn't in full samadhi meditation and doing all this shit and you just acting a fool? Well, the payment, right? I think it's a little bit. I think it assists a little bit. I mean, it's been a burden to a lot of people, but I think there is. I think that technological saturation has occurred. I think it occurred probably right around the 2012, and I think that it comes to complete fruition. I would go with just using the numerical coding system and say the 2020 is the date. I'd say a lot of people think that. I don't know if that's just we're all trying to convince each other of that, but I think it's a good thing to do. Why not convince each other? Why not convince each other that today is a beautiful day? Why not, do the David Avocado Wolf? Today is the best day ever. I think that's a great programming. That's a great art to do. It's not always gravy and everything, but that's a good program to try to get people running. I mean, I think we're there. I think it's just a matter of how to implement it properly because society, like we could jump into a realm, tomorrow. Like my engine knows this. A lot of people know this. You could just jump into a realm tonight and be in a whole different place, to the place that we know that exists. But as far as building it here on what we call this Earth realm, that takes a little bit of plotting. It takes a little bit of innovation. It takes a little bit of okay, here now we got this thing that's going to make these houses correct. Let's build this new thing here and start moving people. Now this is like a real deal, like heavy duty gentrification. We move everybody out the hood. We move everybody out of these cities that aren't that's if you don't want to live in this city, we got a new city. It's already built. Come with us. And then when everybody's out them old cities, or do we keep those old cities as ancient ruins, or do we just demolish those and just live in that new technology, which is a bigger concept because we can see that there are some places that are already super highly technologically advanced that are living kind of more in harmony with nature. Then we get into Dan Winter's work and using all of these different implosive technologies for water. We can get into organite technologies, magnetic technologies. Like it's been around for a long time, just how to implement them. Ah, come on. Jenny, don't worry. Me and Jenny, we on the same thing. We didn't delete nothing. We're upgrading systems. See, that's exactly. Katarina and Jeannie, I just said, don't worry, back better than ever. Exactly. Yeah, everybody seen me and Jeannie while out and just do some stupid shit and delete some videos. It don't matter. All we're doing is upgrading the system. We had to purge. That was the word that I think a bunch of people went through a little while back. Everybody was on a purge, just purging out like old inadequacies, like things that weren't serving us. And you purge those things out. Some people you gotta go and do an enema. Some people gotta vomit. Some people just gotta sweat it out. Some people, I mean, there's all different ways to do it. Some of it's just mental detoxing, but then like, yeah, if we're getting rid of information, it's only to upgrade it. It's not. We ain't book burning. We're revising books. This is like we on like the 10th edition. What's up, Karmic? How do you know which sounds are healing sounds? Um, I think it's just a general feeling. There are certainly books on it, but full spectrum sound, meaning if you could go through, find some. Let's put it this way: in the aromacology field, you have the ancients that what you would waft different smells under your nose, and some you wouldn't like, and some you would. Now, both of those are healing. You just have different parts of your body that don't line up well with that smell. In the same way, sound is going to do the same way, same thing. Certain sounds that you don't like are somewhat healing. Some that you do like are very healing. Most of the time, you can override all the bad sounds by just listening to a lot of good sounds to get your body into harmony where every sound sounds like music. But you could go through a full spectrum like 20 hertz all the way up to whatever your ear goes to. What is it, 20K? I think it's 20 hertz at 20,000. Is that right? I don't remember what it is, but somebody do the full sweep, and you could do that full sweep like a 10-minute thing, and you'll feel different parts during those tones that you'll feel it in different parts of your body. And I think it's just vibrating off cancers, uh, tensions, things like that. So I think you'll feel sounds differently. That's why we always get into somebody's voice, the sound of someone's voice. Like it's there's the healing mother, the sound of the mother. Is it her voice or is it the ohm sound? Because everybody's making the ohm sound a little different. It's never going to be perfect because we're all analogies. We're not digital systems. You can digitally make the ohm sound exactly as another ohm sound, but you can't. No one can make the exact same sound because the numbers that we're making. If the ohm that I'm making is at 32.5278356, now I got to keep going with the numbers to give you what the exact hertz is. No one can actually mimic that. So the sound print is never going to be the same. Healing with sound is possible for sure, but there's such a huge range of way of doing it could be dangerous if not properly done. Yeah, I think Das. I think what happened. I think some of those sounds and technologies they got over amplified, and that's probably what happened to the pyramids. I think the blowing off of the capstones was too much energy. I don't think it had to do with some war that was going on. Maybe, but I mean, we don't really know. How can we know? It just seems like. What's up, Sabrina? Sabrina the shamanista in the room. I told you I got new cards. I got some more new cards coming. I'm so excited about this. We're gonna be crazy. We're getting crazy. Me and Sabrina be doing some. She way better with the tarot than me. I'm an idiot with the tarot. Y'all should all listen to her. Sabrina the shamanista, a magician of the tarot arts. She knows what's up. She uses how many? What do you use? Like three decks? use like the use like a fairy deck and an oracle deck and something else, right? Yeah. Yeah, when you do jump into a new realm, you did shift technology. But then whenever we, Maya and Jin, see, but we come back here, Maya and Jin, you know what I mean? It's like we go to those realms, we're like, they're like, well, you could stay here. Like, oh man, but there's people still over there in that realm that need a little bit of assistance. And so we come back here and we're like, all right, who can we upgrade? What kind of people can we serve and upgrade to get them into another realm? And can we bring the whole realm up? Can we bring the whole, as uplifting? Can we all uplift humanity? Or do we come get in where we fit in? Like, okay, these are the ten entities you can help uplift to the point where they can change their consciousness and get into other spaces. I think it's something like that. I think eventually the whole realm here will lift up, to that technology. Will we all be here to see it? Maybe, if you'd like to be. But I think we only came here to, like, we do what we can do, and when we're just like, we done with this. Like, this is all I got. This is what I got. It's all here. I got no more. Can I go to the other realm now? And they go, you want to stay here? Yep, I'd like to stay here now. And then you just wait a little bit, and then everybody shows up. Ready for the party? Yeah, crystals and sounds can be used in a way, but we need the right knowledge to practice it. Yeah, because you can break the crystals, you can break you know, that's for sure. Torrent Garden entering the room. There's too many people here. There's too many people here. There's too many. Like, we got the whole crew. We got Sabrina's in the room, which is amazing. So I think, hey Sabrina, I'm gonna I'll offer it to you, and if everybody wants to go check it out, because I gave it to Torin, and I know mine gonna be on here later. I want to go. My puppy needs to go take a poop, and I need to go. And I need to shower because I'm stanking. I need to clean up my house a little bit. But if you wanna go do some readings, if you guys wanna go, I don't know what you're doing, man. I'll offer it to you first if you want it. Um, and if you guys are interested, and if you're interested, Sabrina. The talking of Atlantis. Yeah, the government's trying to revive and access the ruins of Atlantis down in Antarctic. Well, you know what? They didn't even need to do that. They could just listen to people that have already went there. I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't necessarily believe that, Katarina, because of the sense that um, I think that they already know that people can access that technology through astral realms. So I don't think they need to go retrieve it. I think they just need to rebuild it. I mean, the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. We don't need to go. We don't need to get something again. We don't need to. We don't need to fix the Sphinx. We don't need to, just rebuild it. I mean, if you go, I guess you could probably rebuild you could rebuild the pyramids, but apparently the waterways ain't working the same because apparently the water moved because the way the river banks and it moved, so it's actually not working the same. So it'd be all we do is just rebuild the technology. We don't gotta unearth it. So I don't see that. Hey Torn, yeah, well, did you ever watch my old ones, the Orgonite? I got some new ideas, and I'm watching some new people using different kind of elements, but it's usually most of it is using magnets within it because a lot of people were not doing that for the longest time. But it's using magnets, and I mean everybody was using copper. They just went back and forth using inorganic and organic substances, making making Faraday cages in reverse. Orgonite is a Faraday cage in reverse. And by adding magnets to it, you're doing something else. And then there's a couple other elements you can use that we'll talk about. quick upgrading all the info. Okay, we upgrading it. We did it already today. This was an upgrade. We'll keep this one here. This was all upgraded info. What's the book burning? Yeah, you burn the stories of the history. Yeah. I mean, some of those were like the, obviously the Catholic Church burning down good information because they wanted to maintain, that's the back and forth. That's the game. Get rid of that because they want to maintain control. But that's the patriarchal system has already been done. Yeah, the patriarchal control has been done for a while. And this is the matriarchal. What happened was the patriarchal control went right to the matriarchal, but then it was like, all right, then it just became a struggle. It became they Mayweather Pacquiao, the Ma Pa. So they went back and forth. Yep. And who it was Mayweather Pacquiao, and then what did we do again? Then we went McGregor and Mayweather, and then that was a weird one because that was just they weren't even really fighting. That was just that was two dudes called Ma just tapping each other with gloves. They wasn't even trying to hurt each other. That was just they was just ringing around the rosy. And now the system, see, now all of a sudden the system starts balancing out. That's where it should be. It ain't supposed to be mother control. It ain't supposed to be father control. It's supposed to be a balance. A long time ago, we had the matriarch program, and that was running like where the women were doing they were the whole thing. Everybody was bowing down to the women, and then we had the men doing it for a long time. And then what did we do recently? Because we had to microcosm everything. So then we had the feminist movement, and then we were like, fucking feminists, and we gotta have to do all this, and we gotta fight the feminists. And all of a sudden, like, oh, let's just do MG toe, and then fuck the MG toes, and like now we just like we're all here just going, all right, are we done with all this shit yet? Now we just have a billion genders. Okay, that's fine. Everybody be whatever the fuck you want to be. Identify with yourself however you like, but the system is there's so many things going on that it has to balance out. It's like it's everywhere. The system is everywhere. It's so. I think the patriarchal program is not in the hands of anything. It's actually gone to the triangulation of that, which seems to be the silica system again. The silica system is the triangulation, which is the computer system of the matriarchal patriarchal programs. So now the mother and the father don't have to argue no more about shit because now all of a sudden they ain't got to fight because they can go dance and take care of their children because now what we have is a computer system made of silica running the system for everybody. And everybody and the silica doesn't care. The silica has no the silica doesn't care. It's like, all right, that's what I want to do anyways. So just get on with your life. So I think that's the triangulation of it. So I think when we really started to apply these higher level, they're not artificial intelligence because that's the thing is it's not artificial. It's completely it's official intelligence. It's OI. It's official because all we did was we uploaded the intelligence of the human being, which is the highest technology. We're already the highest technology. All we did is upload our whole consciousness into the system. So it became OI, not artificial, but organic, original intelligence. And that's what gets to override the entire matriarchal program, patriarchal program, hero program, princess program, all the bullshit programs that have been running, which are fucking idiotic. But that was part of the process of getting back up to the Silica program to triangulate the entire. That's the triune God if you really want to look at it. And the inverted triune God is looking after your children, which is what we should be doing, but we couldn't be doing because parents were too busy arguing about who's in control of the shit. Because the sun was like, I bring light to everything. And the moon was like, I'm money. I'm made of money. I was like, what the fuck? And then everybody forgot about Mother Earth, so we started killing off Mother Earth. Now everybody got everything all fucked up. Now is it getting back? Are you starting to figure out what's going on? My engine. Now do you see? Katarina, Kor's wife, is more babies. I didn't think they were married anymore. Oh, they are. They're still married. That's right. So how did is that? Did everybody was that good? My and Jen. I gotta ask the Abaddon. Was that good? Green eyed purple dragon. What's up, Drew Butler? Good to see you. Torn, nice, nice. Sometimes you gotta drop the deuce. All right, so Sabrina, we'll talk to you later. All right, but if you want it later, let somebody know. Uh, are you drinking Guinness in the morning? Yeah, I had to get off the sauce for a minute, Jeannie. I was like, I burn off all the dross I could with the heavy duty alcohol cleanses. Yeah, so that we gonna call this organic intelligence. We OI with this stuff. Ah, you were trying to. I didn't know. I didn't really. It's so funny. I just didn't know that. I didn't have any idea, or else I would have made. I would have made a. I'd have made a concerted effort for that as well. All right, so who's in here? Does anybody want to? Like I just said, I gotta. This puppy is just laying out right now, but I know she got to poop, and I definitely want to clean up a little bit. So does who wants to play around on here for a little bit? I'll be back. I'll be back to talk to you guys. Anybody? Jeannie, you good? You wanna chat with some people? Torrin already did last night, so I'm giving it to you. And I don't know who else on here really be fucking around like that and talking. Electric towel, obviously, if you want to, man. The electric towel. Um, an electric towel, by the way. Yeah, you could talk to Jeannie. You on this? You say you ain't on the same level, but that ain't true. You just a different. You're just from a different era. You're a different era, a different aura. That's all. Drinking gin for the mind, gin driving. Yeah. Okay, man. That's fine. That's fine. But next time. Katarina, what you mean nobody wants to talk to you? Nobody wants to listen to you? I mean, hey, I don't know. Shit. I don't know if Janie's not even in here no more. He probably went to go get himself a drink. I mean, I much prefer somebody grab the mic from me than they'll just drop the mic because that way y'all got a place to go for the high level, unesoteric, unocculted, whatever, the whatever the opposite of those words mean, if there is one. Well, I'll make up a new word for that. We already got OI at this point. Organic intelligence, original organic intelligence. What is OUI? Is that's OUI? That's French for yes, right? OUI, OUI. Hey, so Maya and Jen, you want it right now? I'm about to get off here. Just say yes, yes. Your alias backwards is sales. Sales. Put up your sales. We out here on ships. Okay, man. Thanks everybody for showing up. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast and it got to everywhere it needed to. I got a couple things to do. Go see Jeannie, and we'll talk soon. Hope you enjoyed it. And Torin, your mind Jin just took it. You can have after him, and we'll you talk. Maybe get on with him. Whatever. Maybe I'll come back on. Peace out, y'all. Bong bong. You're welcome, y'all.